Thursday, October 9, 2025. Today on Days of Our Lives, Jack, Jennifer, and Julie reminisce, and Chad has some heartbreaking news for Kat. Jennifer tells Julie she just can't get over Chad's betrayal with Kat. She just can't even muster up the strength to interview Julie about Grandpa Tom. Luckily, Julie called Jack in to cheer Jen up. Up in Thomas' room, which actually looks like a fun kid's room, Chad tries talking to his son, promising he's going to make this all right. He heads downstairs, tells everyone he'll make this right, then walks out. But Jen doesn't care. Alone, Jack, Jennifer, and Julie start reminiscing over Jen's return to Salem 40 years ago. We flash back to a very young Jennifer committing petty theft, then moving on to her getting encouragement from Tom and Alice about school. All the boys like her and girls hate her because she's so pretty. Well, that's definitely a teenager's take on things. Julie pulls out the scrapbooks and Jennifer starts reflecting on Tom and Alice's motto of forgiveness. But she won't do that with Kat. They find a poem Grandpa Tom wrote to Jennifer after her parents got divorced, and we flash back to his reading it to her. He wasn't the only one to offer advice. Grandma Alice always had relationship help. And flashback to her talking to young Jen about love, with Frankie this time. In the present, Jennifer says all her mistakes with Frankie led her to Jack. Then Julie pulls a newspaper out of the scrapbook of Jennifer's very first Spectator story. Wow, these family photo albums seem to be tailor-made for Jen. This flashback is of Jack giving Jen guff at the Spectator, complete with 80s computers and green text. But they pushed through and fell in love. Next up is Jack's proposal in the rain, Jack pretending to be a fireman on their wedding day, and a whole host of shenanigans, from towels and pantsing to bubble baths and being castaways. The flashbacks end with a wedding and Jennifer declaring her love for Jack. An emotional Jennifer then thinks back to the two of them welcoming baby Abigail. That, of course, makes them all sad. Kat's home, still waiting for a text from Chad, but the one she gets isn't encouraging. "It's me, we need to talk." Oof, that's always a heart-dropping text. When he shows up, Kat can tell things didn't go well. Chad fills her in on all the damage Rachel did in spilling the beans to Thomas. Kat fights back tears as Chad tells her how bad things are with Thomas, and how the only way to make it right is to dump her. She understands. Kids always come first. Chad can't even ask her to wait because he doesn't know if things will ever change. But he's grateful they met, awful circumstances or not. "You're beautiful, Kat." And she made him feel something he never thought he would again. Ouch, Stephanie. Kat's in tears, but she's grateful too. They'll always be in each other's hearts. Chad walks out, telling Kat how hard this was. He kisses her one last time, if we believe this is really over, and leaves Kat to break down. JJ, meanwhile, is brooding in the square and thinks back to calling his mom for what he thought was the last time, the Christmas Eve he tried to take his own life. Jada calls and he fills her in on how his appointment with the psychiatrist went. He's going to continue therapy. He gets home, but the flashback fist is over. He heard about Kat and Chad and stopped by to check in and get an earful from his mom, even as Chad breaks up with Kat. In the show's final moments, Julie declares she made coffee to get down to the interview and they ask JJ to stay for it. Jack gives JJ a rundown of how flashbacks work, and whoops, they aren't done. Jennifer tells JJ about how he got his name. You know, Jack Jr. Kind of self-evident, but okay. This last flashback is on a boat with baby JJ, and Jennifer promising Jack she'll never take anything for granted again. In the present, Jack sings JJ's praises, making him uncomfortable as he says how fine a cop he is. Thomas runs down asking why they're talking about great-great-grandpa Tom, and when Jennifer tells him how he lived with Tom and Alice, Thomas asks if he can live with her. Then Charlotte finally shows up, carried in by Chad. The family is complete. Alone in her apartment, Kat sobs, hugging a pillow. Thursday, October 9, 2025, echoes of love and loss. Today on Days of Our Lives, Jack, Jennifer, and Julie walk down memory lane. Chad makes a heartbreaking sacrifice, and Kat faces the kind of goodbye that shatters more than just a heart. The morning light over Salem filters through lace curtains in the Horton living room, catching the dust motes that drift lazily in the air. tiny fragments of history floating in a home that has seen every kind of love and loss. At the old oak table, Jennifer Horton Devereaux sits, shoulders slumped, staring into a mug of coffee gone cold hours ago. Across from her, Julie Williams, ever the voice of reason wrapped in sass and sentiment, tries to coax her niece into talking. "Sweetheart," Julie says softly, "you've been sitting there since dawn. That poor mug's seen more heartbreak than a soap script." Jennifer exhales, voice trembling. I can't, Julie, I can't get over it. Chad and Kat, after everything, after all that our family been through, he betrayed Abigail's memory." Julie reaches over, squeezing her hand. "You can forgive anyone, darling. It's practically a Horton family trait." "Not this time," Jennifer says, her eyes welling. "I can't even bring myself to start the interview about Grandpa Tom. I thought focusing on his legacy might help me heal, but I just don't have the strength." Julie smiles knowingly. "That's why I called in backup." Right on cue, Jack Devereaux enters through the doorway, holding a bouquet of slightly wilted flowers, classic Jack, charmingly imperfect. "Did someone order a morale boost?" he quips, trying to lighten the mood. "Or did I just walk into a historical society meeting gone terribly wrong?" Jennifer looks up, torn between laughing and crying. "Jack." He crosses the room and pulls her into a gentle hug. "Hey there, my love, you don't have to carry all of Salem's sorrow on your back. Let me share a little of it." Upstairs, Thomas's room. Meanwhile, Chad Dimira stands in the doorway of his son's bedroom. The walls are lined with race car posters, superhero figures, and the echoes of happier days. Thomas sits on the floor, arms crossed, glaring at his father. "Buddy," Chad starts softly, crouching down. "I know you're upset. What you heard, what Rachel said, it's complicated." Thomas doesn't look up. "You lied, Dad." Chad's heart clenches. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone, especially you." He places a hand on his son's shoulder, but Thomas shrugs it off. "You hurt Mom, you hurt everyone." Chad nods, fighting tears. "You're right, and I'm going to make it right, I promise." As he stands, his reflection in the window looks like a man caught between past and future, father and failure. He heads downstairs, pausing only to say to the family, "I'll fix this, somehow." Then he walks out, a man with a mission and a heartbreak waiting for him on the other side of town. Back in the living room, Jennifer watches him go, lips tight. He says he'll make it right, but you can't fix betrayal with promises. Julie shakes her head. "You sound just like I did once upon a time." Jack, sensing the heaviness in the room, leans forward. "You know what helps? A little trip through time." Julie grins and pulls out a massive scrapbook, the kind that smells of old glue and fading memories. "Well, as luck would have it, I brought exactly that." Jennifer looks weary. "Julie, I can't." "Oh yes, you can," Julie insists. "We're doing this Horton style with flashbacks, tears, and probably cookies later." Jack chuckles, and maybe a moral lesson for the audience. The three gather around the coffee table as Julie flips the scrapbook open. Flashback 1985, Jennifer's return to Salem. We fade into a memory of a much younger Jennifer Horton, wild-haired and mischievous, caught pocketing candy from the corner store. "Jennifer Rose Horton," cries a familiar voice, Alice Horton, disbelieving but loving. Jennifer blushes. "It was just one candy bar, Grandma." "And that's one too many," Alice says sternly before softening. "But it's not the mistake that defines you, dear, it's what you do afterward." Then Tom Horton appears, his warm smile lighting up the scene. School, waiting, Jennifer, you have the spirit, now find the direction. Back in the present, Jennifer laughs softly, wiping away tears. I thought the world revolved around me back then. Every boy liked me, every girl hated me, or at least that's what I told myself. Jack smiles, some things never change. Julie smacks his arm playfully. Behave, Jack, you're lucky she still likes you. Flashback college years, Frankie and lessons in love. Julie turns another page. Ah, young love, or should I say young drama. We see a teenage Jennifer crying to Grandma Alice, who listens with the patience of an angel. He doesn't love me, Grandma, Frankie's moving on. Alice pats her hand. Sometimes, my dear, love isn't about holding on. It's about knowing when to let go so the right person can find their way to you. In the present, Jennifer nods softly. All my mistakes with Frankie, they led me to Jack. Jack grins, and you're welcome. Flashback the Spectator days. Julie pulls out an old newspaper, Jennifer's first article for the Spectator. Remember this, she teases. Jennifer chuckles. How could I forget? Jack was my editor and my biggest headache. We fade to the 1980s newsroom, green computer text blinking on ancient monitors, stacks of paper everywhere. Miss Horton, young Jack says with mock seriousness, your headline is atrocious. Jennifer fires back, your haircut's worse. He smirks, Tache, let's fix both. Back in the present, Jack sighs nostalgically. Who knew that day would lead to rain-soaked proposals, wedding shenanigans, and bubble baths gone wrong? Julie laughs, I'd forgotten the fireman stunt at your wedding. Jennifer smiles through her tears. That day I knew he was the one. Flashback the wedding and baby Abigail. Montage, Jack proposing in the rain, the wedding chaos, their laughter, and then baby Abigail's first cry. Jennifer's voice narrates over the memory. That was the happiest I've ever been. Our little girl made everything worth it. In the present, silence falls. They all know what came next. Abigail's tragic loss still echoes through every conversation. Jennifer whispers, some wounds never heal, they just soften. At Kat's apartment. Across town, Kat sits curled on her couch, phone in hand, staring at the glowing screen. No messages, just the silence of someone waiting for an answer they already fear. Then a ping. It's me, we need to talk. Her breath catches, oh no. Moments later, the doorbell rings. Chad stands there, eyes red, shoulders heavy. Can I come in? She nods, her heart already breaking. He takes a deep breath. Rachel told Thomas everything about us, about how it started. Kat closes her eyes. Oh God. He's angry, hurt, he thinks I betrayed his mom, and maybe I did, but I can't keep making him feel like that. She tries to stay strong. So what are you saying? I'm saying, his voice cracks, I have to let you go for my kids. Tears slip down her face. I understand, kids first always. He reaches out, brushing her cheek. You made me feel something I thought was gone forever, Kat. You reminded me I could love again. She forces a smile, then at least it wasn't for nothing. He kisses her soft, lingering final. You're beautiful, he whispers, then walks out. The door clicks shut and Kat collapses into sobs, clutching a pillow like a lifeline. In Horton Square, JJ's reflection. Meanwhile, JJ Devereaux sits on a bench, lost in thought. A flashback plays in his mind. The Christmas Eve he almost ended his life, the trembling voice on the phone calling his mom one last time. Now he's older, wiser, healing. His phone rings. Jada. Hey, she says gently, how'd it go with the psychiatrist? JJ exhales, it was good, hard, but I'm sticking with therapy. She smiles, proud of you, JJ. When he returns home later, he walks into yet another flashback. Jack and Jennifer laughing with Julie, coffee cups in hand, scrapbooks everywhere. Final moments. Julie waves JJ over. Perfect timing, we're just about to relive another century of Horton history. Jack grins, we were explaining flashbacks to your mom. You remember how this works, right? Someone says something sentimental and poof, we're back in time. Jennifer laughs, Jack Jr., you know why we named you that? JJ rolls his eyes, because you're unoriginal. Because, Jennifer says fondly, you were our second chance, the promise we made never to take anything for granted again. Flashback, a boat rocking gently, baby JJ in Jennifer's arms, Jack kissing her forehead. Whatever happens, she whispers in the memory, we'll hold on to this. Back in the present, Jack's eyes are damp. You grew up to be everything we hoped for, son. JJ blushes, Dad, stop. Just then, Thomas bounds downstairs. Why are you guys talking about great-great-grandpa Tom? Can I live with you, Grandma? Jennifer laughs, pulling him close. Sweetheart, you already do in here, she taps his chest. And as if on cue, Chad enters, carrying Charlotte in his arms. The family circle feels whole again, if only for tonight. Closing scene. Cut to Kat alone in her apartment, hugging her pillow. Tears streak her face, mascara smudged. Her phone buzzes again, a blank screen, no new messages. She whispers to the empty room, goodbye, Chad. The camera lingers on her face, heartbreak etched in every tear, every breath. Fade to black. Next on Days of Our Lives. Marlena senses danger returning to Salem. EJ uncovers a betrayal inside Dimira Enterprises. And Kat gets an unexpected visitor who could change everything.